Hello, America. My name is Manuel Estrada, and I want to speak to you about something extremely important. I'm going to attempt to explain to you what is really happening right now in the political environment in our country, in the heart of America. I come from Nicaragua, and I have been in the United States for the past 40 years. And I have seen things that most Americans don't understand. They can't even imagine. We're a country that have been sheltered. We have been blessed. We are innocent in many ways to the evil that takes place in the world. And that is communism. Communism, it's not good. And right now you might say, well, we're not communists, or we're not going to be communists. We're wanting to be socialists. Let me explain to you something, and English is my second language. Communism means community. Socialism means the society. They're the exact same word. It's just a matter of terminology. And I'm going to tell you how it is that communism takes hold of the heart of the people. They begin in the colleges. They start with the young people, because the young people are very susceptible to things that sound good, that feel good. They started in Nicaragua in 1976 to brainwash the heart of the young people. By 1978, we were in a heated civil war where I saw trucks full of dead bodies go by my house. I saw people being murdered. I used to sleep against the wall because of all the fighting that was going on. I remember my mom saying, keep your head down as you go through the window. And we had walls that were real thick concrete. My own brother was murdered with over 500 bullets in his body, and he was a Red Cross volunteer. All of this happened within a couple of years. I saw the heart of the people ignorant to the fact that the Sandinistas were communists. Because the communism does not come screaming, I'm a communist. The communists come in saying, I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to give you health care. I'm going to give you a home. I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to take it from the rich. I'm going to give it to the poor. Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what's going on right now, isn't it? I'm not going to talk about political parties. We all know who the political parties that are saying this are. But what's taking place in the United States is an idea that has caused heartache, pain, destruction, death, displacement of families throughout the world over the past 100 years. But most people either don't know that or don't put two and two together. We live in the greatest country in the world. Anything that comes against the republic, against the laws, is not good. In 1979, I had to flee the country for my life. For the past 40 some years, Nicaragua has suffered. It used to be one of the most thriving, prosperous countries in Central America. And now it's one of the poorest. People are starving. People make about $100 a month if they're lucky. And they were promised free everything. And they were given hell. It's nothing new. Please, wake up. You're hearing it from someone that has lived it, that has suffered it, has gone through it, survived. I ask you to stop and to think. One of the things that it's an evil that's taking place in the United States is idolatry. And I don't mean worshiping idols. I mean worshiping people. Right now, either we worship Trump or we worship Biden. Either we worship the Republican Party or we worship the Democrats. We worship people. Let's have reverence for our republic. Let's have reverence for the rule of law. Let's have respect for this country that has given you the life you're living economically, which is above every other country. Why don't we stop and think instead of being brainwashed? Right now, in the United States, we have the ability to put in power who we choose. We, the people. We, the people. If you don't like the way things are, you vote them out. But I ask you to consider who you're putting in. Whenever you hear pay your fair share, think of this. No taxation without representation. What's your fair share? Your fair share is if you drive, you pay them for the tax in your car. That's your fair share. When you go out and you buy something and you pay 7% tax or whatever it is in your state, that's your fair share. No taxation without representation. That's how this country was born. All people are created equal, with a right to life, with a right to pursue happiness, not for the right to be dictated what happiness is, not for the right for someone to dictate to you how much you make, not for the right for someone to come and tell you how much you can keep. You work more, you make more. You work harder, you deserve more. Communism says you can only have one house, and they'll give it to you. You'll be falling apart. You'll have a job, Do you know that in Cuba, doctors are starving, lawyers are starving to death, professionals, architects, whatever? Oh, they're architects, all right. But they can hardly eat. You have free doctors, you have free medicine. You want that, right? You want free health care, don't you? But you won't have any medicine. What is wrong with people? They don't understand the fundamentals of life. I'm speaking to you with my experience, my own experience that I have seen as a child. And I have seen it played out for that over 40 years in Nicaragua. Mind you, Venezuela. Mind you, Cuba. I implore you to stop and think. And don't be deceived by what's going on. Biden, pay your fair share. Everybody deserves. Everybody should have ideals. Sound beautiful. Sounds great. And you might get to have that and lay on your sofa and watch TV. But what you watch is going to be dictated. Where you sit is going to be dictated. Where you live is going to be dictated. Where you go to the doctor is going to be dictated. And it's going to be down, 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 down. Because of our own selfishness. Because of what we want. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to turn your kids over to a society of death and destruction. And by the time you're passing away, dying, your kids are going to be fighting for their life. Your kids are going to be in a miserable country where the United States is going to be just a shadow of what it used to be. And God forbid, their kids. Wake up, America. Communism is not good. Socialism is not good. And let me tell you this. You think, well, but people should have a doctor. People have a right to have a doctor. Well, are you blind? Don't you see that everybody does get health care, whether they can afford it or not? You have a homeless person on the street and he faints on the sidewalk. The ambulance rushes over there, helps them out, takes him to the doctor, gives him the medicine they need, cures him. If he's having a heart attack, they cure him, they operate on him. That person doesn't have $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 to pay for that, but he gets done. Then they send him a bill. Can he pay it? No. So what happens? The federal government pays the bill. Wake up. We're being lied to. We're being deceived. They want to put a card in your pocket. Say, oh gosh, I have health insurance. But there's no medicine. I have health insurance. But you have to go to some dumbass doctor that's going to end up killing you. You have health insurance. But there's no hospitals to go to. Wake up. I don't have much more to say, but that you're being deceived. Now, I'd say vote for Trump. Why? Not because I'm an idolater that wants to worship some guy. Just simply because he's a patriot. Simply because he believes in the United States of America. Simply because he believes in the law. He believes in the republic. He's an anti-communist. That's why. If he goes another way, well, then I'll go against him. I stand with the Republic of the United States of America. I don't stand with anybody else. I stand for this country to survive, to live, for the ideals of America to survive, for the Constitution of the United States. Educate yourself. Pick up the pamphlet of the Constitution. It's a smaller book. Read it. And then say, wait a minute, that's against the Constitution. Now, wait a minute. That's not what the Constitution says. We're being told that Trump is packing the court right now. How stupid is that? Biden's going around saying Trump is packing the court when they're the ones that want to do it. You know why? Because that's what the communists do. They offset the balance of power so they can take control. Don't be ignorant. Educate yourself. Trump is just filling in the person that dropped out. That's already Constitution. There's 9 in the Supreme Court. We're replacing the 9th one. But yet, you got millions of people out there believing that Trump is back in the court. How stupid is that? How ignorant is that? It's got to be said as it is. Somebody's got to listen. Let those who have ears, let them hear what the Constitution says. Stop being idolaters and believe in this country that is founded on the ideals of God. We are under God. We're pushing God out of this country. What do you think is going to show up? What do you think is going to replace God? God forbid it ever comes to fruition. What's coming? May the Lord be with us.